Hi Lochlando. We didn't get a chance to do a lot of guitar playing, although you got to learn a really good, solid, lifelong skill for playing guitar, changing your strings. But I wanted to give you just a simple right hand technique, so when we get together next week, you kind of have hopefully you're feeling a bit more fluent with your right hand technique. What we're going to do, before we actually get into any sort of exercise, I just wanted to talk to you about a couple things. Picks, as you probably know, come in different thicknesses and also in different materials. And depending on the thickness and the type of material that your pick is, that's going to effectively affect how the pick interacts with your strings, how it feels, how you can strum. Some people want a really thick pick because they want to do very fast staccato. Need power. I quite like a thick pick, but when I first started out, I liked a thinner pick, and I usually start my students out on quite thin picks. Nylon is a good material. Dunlop .68 would probably be a very good pick for you to try. I'll try to remember to bring you a couple at your next lesson. Anyway, irregardless of what type of pick you're using, you also need to be thinking about how you're holding your pick. You want to obviously put it between your first finger and your thumb, your forefinger and your thumb, but not so much that, obviously you know that, but how hard you're holding it, how you're pinching it. If you're holding it too tightly, there's not going to be any flexibility, or very little flexibility, when the pick actually passes over the strings. But if you could loosen your grip and not hold it too tight, what that'll allow the pick to do is to rock back and forth in between your fingers a little nicer like that. So just try to remember when you're strumming, how hard are you holding your pick. And if it's feeling a bit rough and like you're passing a cheese grater over some concrete, well, maybe try loosening your pick up. But you don't want to be hearing things that you don't want it to sound like real rough like that, okay? You want it to sound quite smooth and even, right? Your pick should be able to, when you're strumming, your pick should be able to rock back like this when you're strumming down, and then rock the other direction when you're strumming up, right? Also, another thing to think of before we start is just your pick depth. When you're strumming, making sure that your guitar pick does not go way far deep into your strings, right? You don't want it to be here. You want it to pass about that level there, a couple mils at the most. Because if you're too deep, obviously your pick's going to get stuck in there, and it's not going to sound nice, and it's not going to feel nice. So trying to pass it over at about 2 or 3 mils in depth. All right. Now, don't consume your mind with like, oh, am I holding my pick right? Does my hair look good? Is it too deep? What's this? The square root of 11? All those sort of things. Don't really consume your mind with that. Think about, being comfortable, but just keep them in the back of your mind. If you're aware of them, hopefully you'll start to develop the patterns and the habits by practicing a little quicker, and just give you a leg up. So the song that we're going to do, or the section of the song we're going to do, is a song by a band called America, and the song is called Horse with No Name. Great song, great band, good country. It's 2 simple chords. One of them I'm sure you already know because you've shown me, and the other one you may or may not know, but it's very simple. The first chord is an E minor chord, which is, in review, taking your second finger, putting it on the second string, which is the A string, on the 2nd fret. Taking your third finger, putting it on the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, which is the D string. Okay? Strumming it open on every single string will sound. Okay? Very sad, minor sounding chord. And the 2nd string is an F sharp major suspended. Big name, weird, what does it mean? Simple chord. Effectively, all you're doing with these 2 chords is you're taking your E minor chord and you're spreading it apart. Boom, bink, boom, bink. Take this finger up here, this finger down here. Okay? When you get as fast as me, and been playing as long as me, you actually start making ninja noises with your fingers. Pretty awesome. But you're taking your second finger, placing it on the first string on the 2nd fret, and you're taking your 3rd finger and you're pressing it on the 4th string on the 2nd fret and strumming all the notes. Make sure that, or try not to allow your 2nd finger to mute the A string. Try to arch it up. If you can't, really, we're not worried too much about that, but be aware of it. We're worried about right hand strumming, okay? So anyway, the song can sound like this. I'm doing quite a few different strumming, right-hand strumming techniques there, which, you know, with a bit of practice, you're going to be able to do all sorts of different things. What we're worried about right now is just making sure that we're flexing our wrists. We're not strumming with our arms like this. It just takes us way too much movement. We want to be nice and efficient using our wrists, okay, and making sure our wrists are nice and loose, you know, not stiff. We're not robots, okay? Although we do have pretty robotic-like structures inside. Anyway, don't let me digress. So the first strumming pattern, just to keep it real simple, is all down strokes, and it's 4 E minors and then 4 F sharp major suspended. So we'll just call it F sharp for brevity's sake. So it goes like this: 2, 3, 4, down, 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 switch, down, 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 switch, down, 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 switch. Okay, and just do that a few times. You know, repeat. It goes 4 times, and then you switch the chord. Repeat that 4 times. But really just do that until you've got the chord progression pretty smooth, okay? Then, once you've got it down, without really thinking about doing this, and you're... Once you're doing that, maybe minus the sounds, then move on to a more difficult strum pattern, okay? So, like this. So after you've done 4 down, 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 after you've done 4 of those, I want you to go down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. Okay, repeat that 4 times. So down, 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 down. Guess what? Down, 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 down. And then go to the next one. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, down. Okay, like that. Now, if you want to get tricky after that, okay, that's just try getting those really smooth, okay? And if you're feeling like doing something a little extra special, you can go down, up, up, down, up, 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 down, up, rest, down, up, rest, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm throwing some rest and some space, and I'm putting my hand on there, okay, to dampen the strings, to stop it from ringing. So down, stop the strings from ringing, down, up, I'm also adding in a chopping noise, okay, which is another right hand technique, which you can mess around with. You know, what it is I'm laying this part of my hand down on the strings and then going strumming like that, so allowing me to just add a bit of percussive element to the song, which is, you know, one great option you can have on guitar. You know, you can have this percussive, rhythmic, melodic, chordal, all these things going on at the same time. Really, it's a wonderful thing about the instrument. It makes it a great solo instrument. But if you have a chance, you listen to the song "Horse with No Name" by America. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or something like that. Your parents may even have it, maybe not. Maybe it's a bit old. I don't know. Anyway, good luck with that. Email me if you have any questions. All right, mate.